Augsburg is where I learned to love the city. I came from a very small town and didn't have a really good experience of city and what that meant with who lives in the city and what do buildings look like and infrastructure and what does it mean to be a city dweller. And Augsburg taught me that, and not only taught it to me, but made me love it. I ended up at Augsburg because of an admissions counselor. There was an admissions counselor who had Tomahawk on her list, and she came out to visit. And when she came out to visit, I was a junior in high school, and she was talking about early admissions and how you'd get a benefit if you applied early and were accepted early. And I thought she was talking about your junior year, not your senior year. So I had my application done and sent in by January of my junior year. And I got a phone call from the admissions office that said, "Wow, yeah, you're our first accepted member of the class of 2000. Congratulations." So I always joke that I was the first one. A lot of pastors say nobody goes into this willingly, that this is something that God calls you to do and that God compels you to do and doesn't let you do anything else. It's incredibly time-consuming, and you bear the burdens of your people. If you really love them, it really hurts sometimes. I did 2 years of classroom at Luther Seminary, and your third year is usually you're sent out to do internship. And I was sent out to St. Olaf Lutheran Church here in North Minneapolis. And it was at that church that I really started to understand more fully and deeply what inner city ministry was about, because I was doing it every day. Then I started interviewing at churches, and when I interviewed here at Christ English, they interviewed me because they knew I knew North Minneapolis and I loved it. And North Minneapolis is a challenging community. It's not for kind of the faint-hearted, and they were afraid that if they had called a different pastor, they wouldn't know what this meant, and that this community would scare them out before they'd been here too long. They at least knew with me, I understood. I understood what North Minneapolis was like, and I love North Minneapolis. And that makes all the difference. Christ English isn't just who shows up on Sunday. That even though in the ELCA we talk about membership based on who communes and who contributes, that really this church exists for the greater and broader community. That anybody who comes into contact with this church is sent here by the Holy Spirit. So on community dinner Monday nights, when folks come in from all over the neighborhood, and there's the single mom with her 6 kids, and there's the elderly couple who only get out once a month, and there's the folks who have driven in from Brooklyn Center because they heard there's a free meal. They're all part of our community. They're all part of Christ English. And when things happen in their lives, just like when they happen in the lives of the congregants, they call. And they see this as their church. And if you ask them if they go to church, they'll say, well, maybe not on Sundays, but once a month on Monday nights we go to Christ English.